Have you ever let something small completely throw you off? Like someone cutting you off in traffic, and you're still fuming half an hour later? Or a careless online comment ruins your entire evening? Sound familiar? We constantly get caught up in things we can't control, losing our peace of mind. But what if I told you there's an ancient practice that teaches you how to maintain a clear mind and composure in any situation? It's called Stoic detachment. And no, it's not about becoming an unfeeling robot. Stick around and you'll discover how to master this superpower and regain control over your emotions. So, let's dive into where this idea actually comes from. The concept of detachment originated with the Stoics, ancient Greek and Roman philosophers like Seneca, Epictetus, and Emperor Marcus Aurelius. These individuals lived through incredibly turbulent times, yet managed to maintain remarkable composure. Their core secret was simple. They divided the world into two categories: things we can control and things we cannot. Our thoughts, judgments and reactions, these are within our power. But the weather, other people's opinions, or traffic jams, those are not. The art of Stoic detachment, then, lies in focusing all your energy on the former and learning to calmly accept the latter. So let's start with the most common misconception. When people hear Stoic detachment, they often picture an emotionless robot, someone with a stone-cold face, utterly indifferent to everything and everyone, as if the goal is to switch off all emotions and become as cold as ice. But this is perhaps the most pervasive and damaging misunderstanding about Stoicism. Stoics never advocated suppressing emotions or pretending they didn't exist. They were fully human and understood perfectly that feeling anger, sadness, joy, or fear is an intrinsic part of our nature. To ignore this would be to deceive ourselves. So what is the true essence then? The point isn't to not feel, but to not be enslaved by your feelings. Detachment is about creating a small pause, a tiny gap between an event and your reaction to it. It's the ability to observe your emotion from a distance, rather than being overwhelmed or consumed by it. Let's consider a vivid example that truly clarifies this concept. Imagine a surgeon performing a complex operation. Do you think they are indifferent to whether the patient lives or dies? Of course not. They feel deep empathy. They wholeheartedly wish to save that life. Their motivation is compassion. But the moment they hold the scalpel, they don't allow fear or panic to control their actions. They are detached from the emotional storm so that their mind remains clear and their hands steady. They feel, but they don't let their feelings interfere with the task at hand. This is true Stoic detachment. It's not indifference, but professional clarity of mind. It's a deliberate choice of reason, not a surrender to impulse. And this is precisely the superpower we can cultivate within ourselves. So how does one cultivate this? Where do you even begin your journey to inner peace? It all starts with one simple, yet incredibly powerful principle. The Stoics called it the Dichotomy of Control. It might sound a bit academic, but in practice it's remarkably straightforward. Imagine all events and circumstances in the world can be sorted into two metaphorical baskets. Into the first, smaller basket, we place everything that is entirely within our control. What exactly is that? It's our thoughts, our judgments and evaluations, our decisions, and our reactions to what happens. Essentially, it's our entire inner world. And according to the Stoics, this is the only basket onto which we should direct our energy and attention. Into the second, much larger basket, we put everything else. In other words, everything beyond our control. The weather outside, traffic jams, other people's opinions of us, their words and actions, the past which cannot be changed, and even the ultimate outcome of many of our efforts. And this brings us to the Stoics' key practical tool. Before you get angry, upset, or start to worry, pause and ask yourself one simple question. Does what's happening right now fall into the first or second basket? Can I directly influence it? If the answer is no, then wasting your mental energy on it is like shouting at clouds to make them disappear. It's pointless and only depletes your strength. Consider an archer preparing for a shot. He can do everything within his power. Choose the perfect bow, select straight arrows, and spend hours training his stance and aiming accuracy. He controls his breathing, muscle tension, and the exact moment he releases the string. This is his zone of complete responsibility. But once the arrow leaves the bow, his control ends. A sudden gust of wind might divert it from the target, and the wise archer accepts this. He doesn't curse the wind. Instead, he analyzes his shot, what was within his control, and calmly prepares for the next. So it is in life. Focus on your shot, on your reactions and actions, and simply accept the wind as it comes. All right, we've tackled the dichotomy of control, but what do you do when emotions completely overwhelm you? When a problem seems immense, all-consuming, and logic simply shuts down? For moments like these, the Stoics had another brilliant technique. They called it the view from above, or the Platonic perspective. This is purely an exercise for the imagination, one you can do anywhere, anytime. Here's how it works. The moment you feel yourself boiling over with anger or drowning in anxiety, close your eyes for a second. Now, mentally lift off from the situation. Imagine your soul or your consciousness like a tiny drone rising upwards. First, you see yourself from above, sitting at your desk, stuck in traffic, arguing with someone. Then rise higher. You see your room, then your entire house, your street. Continue ascending. Now you see your whole neighbourhood, and then the city from a bird's eye view. Millions of people, millions of lives, each with their own worries and problems. But don't stop there. Fly higher. Now you see your entire country, then the continent shrouded in clouds. And then, finally, you see our entire planet, a small, blue and white marble floating alone in the infinite black silence of space. Now, from this cosmic height, try to think about your problem again, that biting comment online, that person who shoved you on the subway, that petty argument. On this scale, against the backdrop of eternity and the boundless universe, how truly important is this problem? How significant is it? Most often, the answer is almost not at all. This view from above doesn't invalidate your feelings. It simply returns things to their true scale. It provides that vital distance, allowing you to calm the storm within and tell yourself, okay, calm down. This isn't the end of the world. It's just a tiny blip on a small planet. Now let's explore another, perhaps the most paradoxical, yet incredibly effective Stoic method. In Latin, it's called premeditatio malorum. Literally translated, it means premeditation of evils or anticipating misfortunes. Sounds rather grim, doesn't it? It might seem like a sure path to pessimism and anxiety. Why proactively dwell on the negative? We're usually trying to avoid those thoughts. But here, as often with the Stoics, there's a clever twist. The aim of this practice isn't to make you preemptively upset or live in constant dread. Its purpose is to make adversity familiar, to strip it of its power to shock and surprise. Here's how it works in practice. Each morning or evening, take just a couple of minutes to calmly visualize things that could go wrong today or tomorrow. But do this without panic, like a detached observer. For instance, I might be late for work due to traffic. My computer could freeze before a crucial task. The person I'm meeting might cancel. I might face unfair criticism. By mentally rehearsing these scenarios, you accomplish two very important things. First, you mentally prepare a plan B. What will I do if I hit traffic? Listen to an audiobook or call my parents. What if my computer crashes? I'll calmly restart it because I saved my document 5 minutes ago. Second, and most importantly, you inoculate your mind against shock. When a difficulty actually arises, it no longer catches you off guard. Your brain doesn't react with panic. Oh no, this is terrible, but rather with a calm. Ah, yes, I anticipated this might happen. Unpleasant, but not fatal. Time to execute the plan. As Seneca said, what we have foreseen strikes us less. If you're mentally prepared for the worst, then anything that turns out even slightly better is a welcome bonus. Thus, Premeditatio malorum isn't a tool for suffering, but rather a powerful armor against it. And here's the most crucial and perhaps surprising insight. Stoic detachment isn't about escaping life or hiding from it. Quite the opposite. It's a way to truly immerse yourself in it. When you stop reacting emotionally to every little thing, you free up an immense amount of energy. Energy that can be directed towards what truly matters, your goals, your loved ones, your personal growth. By no longer being a puppet of external events, you become the captain of your own ship. Yes, a storm may rage around you, waves crashing against the hull, but your hand remains firmly on the helm. You see your destination and calmly steer your vessel towards it, undisturbed by every passing wave. Detachment isn't about not engaging in life. It's about choosing not to engage with the chaos. Ultimately, Stoic detachment isn't a wall between you and the world. It's a filter that allows only what truly matters to pass through, keeping all the emotional noise outside. It's a skill that enables you to live more mindfully, calmly, and, surprisingly, more happily. Thank you for watching this video to the end. If these ideas resonated with you, please show your support with a like and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss new videos on practical philosophy for modern life. Now, a question for you. Tell me in the comments, where in your life do you feel the art of Stoic detachment would be most beneficial? Or perhaps you already practice it. Share your thoughts below.